Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Shovel, and this is going to be a brand new series actually. I am here with my friend, Copycat, say hello.
Hello.
And this new series is going to be all about building an adventure map. And it's going to be going through the redstone behind it, going through some of the building, and Copycats here will be building most of the buildings and cities and doing kind of like the landscaping and that. And I'll be doing most of the redstone, and I'll be doing like all the stuff that powers the behind the scenes stuff. He's going to make things look good. If you want to talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing exactly.
Yeah, we have some ideas for like some themes and stuff. Like if you started on like a ocean type one, where there's like a lot of biomes right near here, like a jungle, a swamp, desert, forest, and an ocean. So we can have a ton of diversity in what we can do. And that's really like nice because the redstone can not travel too far. And do you want to explain about the redstone, what we're doing with the main gimmick almost of this?
Yes, well, the whole idea of the map itself is that it's actually going to be basically a class-based map. And you're going to be able to choose from 4 classes, which the initial thing is kind of set up here, but I don't have signs, we haven't designated anything. But you're going to basically pick a class. We haven't quite decided fully on each class that we're going to do, and you're going to pick it, and based on the class that you pick, it's going to actually change the entire map. It's going to redesign the map. It's going to be all piston powered. It's going to redesign the map based on your class so that you can get access to items for your class, and it won't give items for any other class. The map itself is going to be basically based around several dungeons, and you're going to go in and fight through them. Everything is going to be done mostly with player sensors and that, so there's not going to be anything like pressure plates, so it should be all behind the scenes. And we're going to work on the storyline later. That's something that hopefully we can get the audience here to help out a little bit with. And it's just going to be playing through. You're going to collect all your loot and that. Each class is going to have slightly different things, and the whole map is going to be shaped around your class choice here. It's going to affect everything when you choose one.
And we will have like a single player and a multiplayer version because right now if you just we have it set up for single player, so it's going to be one class. Let's say you pick a mage or a warrior. We're not too sure on the classes, but it'll change it so for that. But if you want to play with a few friends, you could play with them, and we would have it just a bit different set up so that more of the choices would be granted. So it would be there's random chance of getting different drops for classes that you have picked.
Yeah, exactly. So basically for the multiplayer version of this, it will be changed in the way that the drops will be randomized totally then, so that each run through the map will be different in the fact that you might get different drops for different classes. So you might get one that's heavily weighted towards more of one than the other, and each time you go through it'll be totally random, so you could actually play the map a few times and it will be different each time. So the whole map will change again, and we've got a very good design on how that's going to work. The biomes for this are actually perfectly placed, so everything kind of like is centered around this starting area here, so that the biomes themselves are never too far away, so the redstone won't have to travel very far, shouldn't lag anything up. And the mob fights themselves with the dungeons, at the very beginning they're going to start off easier, and by the end I am going to be building some redstone bosses. So they will be fights that you will have to defeat some kind of redstone contraption of some sort, and they will be fighting back, so that should be pretty fun.
Yeah, we've had like some good ideas, but if you guys could help with some, like if you have some, I don't know, some themes or something you'd like to add in, you could always post a comment, and we'll see if we could add something like that. Or if you want some ideas for classes or items they get, and there's going to be no mods with this, so you won't need to use any mods. It'll be all vanilla, which is one of the things we're trying really hard to do. We haven't built like not too much yet, but we've had like the start of everything. Like down there, that's the class choice, and up here is just like the starting area. So
And all of this is very much a work in progress.
Yeah.
We've only put a couple hours in just to have something to kind of show and kind of like look through while we talk. And as of right now, actually, we'll probably cut to showing off a little bit of what we've done so far.
Mhm.
And so we will see you guys there. Okay, and we are here in probably what's going to be the first starting town. Now, this is basically the basic layout of what it's going to look like. This is not how it's actually going to look in the finished product. we're kind of like doing the basic mapping out of where everything's going to be, and then you're going to put the fancy looking buildings in and make things look more impressive later. But for now, you just want to lay everything out to be the way it's going to be when you play it. And over here, these are the shops, or what will be the shops, and this is going to be tailored for 1.3 when there's villager trading. And these ones will be opened depending on what your class choice is, so you can buy better items and that, and upgrade things and get more things for your class itself. And the ones that will be open will be tailored to what your class is. The other ones will be closed, and these shops will not look like this.
This is mostly just almost a frame for what we are gonna do. So the redstone stuff will all line up, and then
Yes,
we'll
exactly.
do
So
the
it gives me an
aesthetics
idea
it.
of where I'm going with this. Copycats here will be doing a very impressive building design, I assure you. These are just boxes to give me an idea of where
Yeah.
I'm putting the redstone exactly and where it should be going. And this is kind of like the idea of what the towns are going to look like. They're not going to be too big. You're going to be able to pretty much see from one end to the other. They're not going to be massive because the map itself isn't going to be huge, but there's going to be a lot of content in a smaller area. A lot of it is going to be centered around the dungeons that are underneath the ground, and he will also be doing a lot of the designing for that because I'm great with redstone, but I'm not so great at making things look very impressive.
So we have we also don't want to make it too linear. We don't want to make it so you walk from one place to the next. Like you can kind of see right over there. That's the starting area we were just at. And we don't want to make it so you just walk there, you go to this place, and you go to the next dungeon. We kind of want to make it so you can have a bit of an area. We won't make it too big or too small, but that's kind of what we're going for. We're gonna shape the land a bit to make it a bit more, I don't know, friendly towards that, and we'll have secrets along the plate or treasures and stuff everywhere hidden, just to make it a bit more. I don't know how to say it, but more realistic.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be more of a free roam map that you can kind of go wherever you want to, but the map will be designed in a way that you can't advance past the story that you're in. You will be limited to where you can go, but it will be done in kind of like a discreet way, always having 2 block high walls everywhere. And as you advance, more things will be unlocked. You can go out and roam the world, but you won't be able to go into further on dungeons until you've completed the ones that you have been set out to do, and you won't be able to get into further on shops or cities. So it should be laid out very well, and everything that you do will trigger something out, and it will kind of spread across the entire map and basically change everything with one thing that you do.
Yeah, so this is the first village, and I think we're going to cut to just the first area, what we have for a dungeon, and we'll see you then.
Okay, and now we are here in what is going to be the first dungeon, and all we've really done so far is kind of do the introductory room. The dungeons themselves are going to be quite big and sprawling, and there's going to be a lot of cool things in them, but just so far we have kind of the entrance room, the tunnel down. We'll leave how you get into this a little bit of a mystery because you can't give everything away in a custom map, otherwise people aren't going to have any interest in playing it.
So this first area, it's gonna first be locked up, so you can't really get here. But this lever here is just mostly for tests and stuff, and a shovel will here show off what we're gonna do with this lever and this first room.
Yeah, so as we go in here, this is kind of just an introductory room, and really for the most part all of this is just kind of for looks. There's not going to be too much of a function here. You're just going to get in here and it's just going to be straight through, and through here is going to be where the actual action starts. This is going to have many mob fighting rooms and treasure rooms, and the layout of it also will change based on the class that you pick. The dungeons could be longer, shorter, easier, or harder.
Yeah,
Each
so
one will be different.
you might have a certain rooms not open if you're a different class to not fight them as easily. If you're a mage, you might not do certain rooms or vice versa.
And the loot that you get at the end of each one will be different. The rooms themselves will actually, some of them, depending on the difficulty of it, may be changed slightly. Of course, in multiplayer, they will be pretty standard. They will be randomized on the difficulty, but for the single player at least, it will be very much tailored to each class that you choose. So when you go into one of these dungeons, they may be harder at the beginning for one class and easier by the end, It will be totally randomized in that respect, and as you go through, there will probably be maybe 20 plus rooms in each one to fight through. There will be some small puzzles. I want to try to keep down the number of jumping puzzles, though, because jumping puzzles are kind of really common in adventure maps so much, and for the most part, you're going to end up with doing it over lava or something like that, and that creates a lot of problems with losing items and such, so I'm going to try to keep most of the puzzles to mob fighting and maybe the occasional actual puzzle room, not a jumping puzzle. And Copycat will probably do the designing of most of the rooms. This first one was designed by me, but it's probably not the most impressive thing you're going to see on this map, which is why he's going to be doing the designing for the rest of it.
Yeah, so I think that's it for the first update video, or first initial video, and we're going to try to get these out hopefully every week, show you like what we've done, or some of the cool things we've designed, or Redstone, what he's done, and well, if you guys have any ideas, we'll try to add them in, and if you don't want to spoil the map, then don't watch the videos, but you can still comment for ideas if you want or anything. You can always we'll always ask questions in the description for anything we're thinking of. Let's say we need a certain idea for a class, we'll ask you, and you guys can always have some input there.
Exactly, and this is going to be just an introductory video. I know it might be a little bit boring because we're not really doing anything, we're just kind of talking, but we really want to get the idea of the map out there and what exactly it's going to have in it and what you can expect from the videos. So they will be kind of like map updates. I will probably do some of my redstone on camera to show off exactly what I am doing and explain some of it. He will probably be doing some builds on it. We might even get some time lapses or something like that to show like the building of cities. But we will do kind of like a weekly map update to show how our progress is going and what we have planned for the future, and hopefully we will eventually come up with a date on when we will be able to release it. But that is pretty far off right now, but that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Is there anything else that you wanted to say?
No, I think that's it actually, covered it all.
Okay, well then, that is it for this video, and I will see you guys next time.
See ya.